Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business, and I haven't done one of these preview videos in a while, so we're going to cover a Little Brother and Big Brother. The Gneisenau at Tier 7 for the German battleships, and the Bismarck at Tier 8. And starting off with the Gneisenau, and by the way, there's a theme to this video. It's good, but it's not at the same time, so I think you'll pick up on it probably by the end of this match. And I've got one match with the Gneisenau, and I'll follow up with two very, very similar matches with the Bismarck, but give you my take on this at least initially. I'll say this much. What is it? The last 8 days I've played something like 100 matches, and actually more since I just did a few more matches tonight. It's pretty much all been the Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, and the Bismarck. I honestly almost haven't played anything else. I think maybe 7-8 other matches in other ships. So yeah, it's been all Germany on my stream lately, and I have no inclination to play anything else. They're just so much damn fun. But one thing that strikes me about the Gneisenau, especially because it has so few shells that it sends out, is the fact that it has horrendous dispersion. I'm talking worse than anything currently available in the game, going back to the pre-buff Colorado. It makes me weep every time I pull the trigger at anything that isn't basically point blank range. Now, that's not to say that I don't hit, it's simply the fact that with how the shells disperse, I don't have any real reliability in doing damage whenever I shoot. And by that, I want to clarify that I have 37% main battery hit ratio over the course of 48 games so far with this ship. So that's not because I'm accurate with it, it's simply because of the fact that there's only 6 shells, and usually there's going to be 1 or 2 that hit. So in that respect, everybody really should be able to have a higher average hit ratio with the Gneisenau than, say, something like a New Mexico, something like a Fuso, because because the simple fact that you have so many more shells out means that you're gonna miss quite a few of them. And don't ask why the hell that battleship didn't maneuver against those torpedoes. I just, basically that's how this match was destined to go. And you're going to see this type of stuff a few more times too. And there is a Congo that has been backing up behind an island while Tyson is in his Colorado trying to get some work done against the enemy ships on the other side of the map there. I mean, look at that crap on the mini-map. Unfortunately, it's just a bit too common seeing this type of stuff, but I've been trying to work on this Koenig here, and been getting relatively consistent damage, which is great. But this Mayhan has now entered the fray, and I'm trying to get closer to the Gneisenau that had beached himself over where A would be. So I'm bringing my main battery to bear, and in this particular match I do have manual secondaries active on the Gneisenau, and they've been doing okay. I was really hoping to get that kill there, because you'll see that it kind of bites me in the ass in a moment. But I'm keeping my options open here. I'm not terribly worried about the Gneisenau right now. I want to get rid of the Mayhan while he's spotted, because that is far more important than a ship that's not going to be able to get away from me. So the Hatsu barely manages to dodge the torp from the Gneisenau as I send my port side torps out to him as well, and I managed to get by that as well. The Hatsu launches his torps, and now it's just a race to see who's going to have their torps land first. One of the racks from the Mayhan finally shows up, and I'm going to make a mistake here. I am overcorrecting. And I'm actually, looking back at this, I should have anticipated some sort of extra set of torps, and unfortunately this bites me in the ass, and I take some unnecessary damage there. Now, there's quite a few ships that are still over here that we're trying to contend with, and I honestly have no idea how the hell Tyson is still alive at this point. I mean, he's had absolutely no support from that Congo over there, and I doubt the Congos even hit anything at this juncture. Just really bad player, and whatever, it is what it is. So I find out that there's an Atlanta hugging that island there, and I'm not having any of that shit. I'm just pulling right out of there. And the only way I'm going to be able to cut back at this point is if he exposes himself. So I am trying to get myself in a position to be able to help Tideson as well, and I launch a salvo out to the Atlanta and trying to see what's happening here, but managed to get a Citadel on the Atlanta and a couple overpens on top of that as well. Now, again, I'm trying to get myself in the position to be able to fire something over at these guys here and maybe try to save Titan and make him last a little bit longer here to get his guns into the fight for a few salvos more. The Sims has just been pestering the hell out of him, and same with the Aoba, which unfortunately we just lost him right there. So I am kind of annoyed at this point. You know, we have just the 4 ships, basically 3 ships, because the Congo refuses to get into the match. And I was hoping for a kill right there, but 6,000 damage. Oh well. And I mean, we're down, what, it's 7 ships to 4, but really 3. And now I'm pushing into the middle here because, one, the Atlanta has given me some room, and I decide to go ahead and press in against the Colorado as well as the Congo. There's a Miyoko over there. I don't know, at this point, possibly it's the rest of their damn team ahead of me. But the Hatsuharu is on their cap, and it looks like the Sims is still tied up for just a moment there. Our Minakaze is just off to my right, and we've got a good position here to be able to possibly have Torps come in and remove these battleships. But I trust in the Gneisenau's armor, and I'm going to get really aggressive here. I get some good hits against the Colorado, and I'm going to bring my bow back forward, and I'm going to press in as fast as I can. And this salvo looks like it's really going to be good, but no. Like I said, you can't trust the ship to have the damage done when you need it to do it, and at least in those situations like that. And it's really unfortunate, but I have my secondaries going off here against the Congo, and it looks like we've got Torps coming in from the Minakaze on the right, so the Congo looks to be the main target for that. I get my starboard side Torps off, send my front 2 turrets, and I bring my ship around just enough to try to engage against the Colorado with that. And I've got my turrets reloading here on the front. See if I can maybe do something against this Miyoko. I bring my ship around to bring my 3rd turret around and fire that off. Looks like the Colorado dodged the Torps, but the Congo did not. And got those hits right there. Fire right into the Citadel of the Colorado. And I'm trying to bring my main battery around to hit the Miyoko, while a Sims pops up. And that's the last damn thing I need, or so I thought. That right there is unfortunately going to have a very, very high price for me. So my secondaries are doing some work right there, get a close quarters expert on the Sims, and then, sure enough, the Aoba appears as well. This is just like round robin of death. This is ridiculous. I get some hits there against the Aoba. He's really close to being taken out. Gotta get my 3rd turret on him before I potentially die. And I get the Kraken. The close quarters actually finishes him off, but I'm not able to do anything about that Torp. And I'm on my repair cooldown. There's nothing I can do. And I don't have any more heals left, and I've got this one chance to take this Miyoko out, possibly give us just the slightest chance of winning here. And I missed those 2 shots. We just lost our Hatsuharu on their cap. I get my last salvo off because I've got my steering knocked out and straddle. Yeah. If I didn't lose my momentum, my speed, when I hit that Colorado, that would have been a win. And damn does that one sting a lot. Oh, crap. And what I needed to do there was to straighten out after I dodged that first Torp that was really, really close. I should have been bringing my steering around to the left, and I possibly would have dodged it, but I honestly don't think I would have, mainly because it would have brought my stern closer to the Torp earlier, and I just don't think there was any way for me to dodge it at that point, so... oh well. Well, now let's try out the Bismarck, shall we? So yeah, more typical German crap there as far as the accuracy is concerned against the Cleveland broadside, you know, not that far away. Well, take a look at this Miyoko. What the hell is he thinking, huh? He doesn't get quite as lucky as the Cleveland. Triple Citadel. And he gets taken out, and then the guy right next to him does exactly the same thing. I mean, look at that. Sometimes the purpose of your life is only to serve as a warning to others, and apparently the first Miyoko didn't quite do enough of a job there, a good enough job to warn the other Miyoko, and he got taken out too. Yeah, I don't know why players do that at all, but it's a really, really poor idea, especially right after a guy just got completely nuked. But I'm not complaining. I mean, they're dead. So we're already at 74,000 damage, by the way. A lot of secondary hits, a few citadels, of course, and things are not exactly in our favor right now. I mean, we're trying to finally cap C and, you know, stave off some of these advancing German battleships because I don't want them to get closer. I do not need those torpedoes to be involved here at all. Got torps coming in from B right there, and it's just Frere and myself, and we're both in Bismarcks in our division, but I obviously don't want to get hit by any of these torpedoes, so I'm trying to turn out, and again, there's targets everywhere, so I've got to figure out my course of action here. There's a Cleveland as well as a Fuso up here. There is the Scharnhorst that looks to be pushing in ahead, and what do you know? A destroyer runs into me. I swear to God, every time in the Bismarck, this keeps happening over and over again. It's ridiculous. But I had some hits on the Cleveland, but the Miyoko finishes him off, and I'm obviously maneuvering to dodge some of these torps from the Ryujo. So at this stage, things aren't going great. Frere's down, unfortunately. He just took a hell of a punishment there towards, well, between B and C. We are trying to get back into this match, and, you know, it just goes to show you, especially like in that first match, a little bit more effort would have gone a long way with the amount of ships that were so close to being killed there. You know, having that all dumped onto one player to try to do that, or like to force that type of situation to come to a head, it's just pretty crappy. So this is pretty much the same, and it gets some hits there, but it's really the fires from the secondaries that do the work. So I've got another 70 hit streak with the secondaries. Now I switch over to the Scharnhorst and aiming high, trying to see if I can knock out those torpedoes. I get some good damage actually, but set another fire on this guy, and I do try to knock out the torpedoes rather frequently on the Scharnhorst because it seems to happen to me quite a bit, but it looks like he's turning out, and again I am getting a lot of damage done to me from multiple sources here. There's a damn Sims that won't leave me alone, and I do a hell of a good salvo there. 16,400 damage on the side of the Scharnhorst, and now there's a Fubuki in front of me, which is just so exciting. But I activate my Hydro, and I'm pressing in right against him. Gonna start acting like I'm maneuvering towards a particular direction, and then I'm gonna start breaking off to the other the second I see the torps, because I'm hoping that he's gonna try to go all in with his torps, and it looks like he's forced to stay straight there from the airdrop torpedoes, which is really good. So I get a high caliber there and finally get his torp spotted. Plenty of enough time to be able to dodge these, although this last one here is kind of making me nervous because I gotta get at an angle to where I can go ahead and throw the back end of my ship around, and luckily that was the case. And I'm trying to get my secondaries to open up a little bit more by bringing my side around, but not like it matters because now the Fubuki is dead. And I still have a problem with the Sims here. His torps thankfully miss very, very wide, but take a look at how low my health is. I have almost nothing left. I've got a heal coming up right now, but it's a matter of just trying to avoid being set on fire by the two Bismarcks ahead of me, by their secondaries. So I'm sitting here trying to heal up as much as I can before I have to engage these guys, and suddenly the Sims appears over the island at B, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You're in range of my secondaries. And sure enough, this happens. Fun and engaging mechanics, everybody. What a load of shit. I mean, I know detonation helped me there, but God, that's so stupid. I mean, that is so ridiculous. What I should have done here, looking back at this, was wait until I had the chance to use my final heal before I came back around, but I was worried the other Bismarck would manage to get me. So, yeah, 181,000 damage, 202 secondary hits, and yeah, various awards and whatnot. Again, on around 1,500 base XP on the losing team. And take a look at that, 43,000, well, 44,000 damage from the HE shells from the secondaries, and another 14,000 damage at fires. That's pretty damn good. So let's try this one out again with a 3-man division. Frere and myself in the Bismarck, and we have Paperback in his Benson. Now, I just need to mention something. You know, that last match happened, then, you know, it was a loss. The next match took out the Bismarck, 54,000 damage, and it was a win. And then the very next match was this one. And if you've picked up on the theme, I think you already know it's a loss. This was so frustrating. So many little things that could have been done. And, you know, such small little things that the team together could have changed, and it just didn't happen. So, nailed the Amagi for over 20,000 damage there. Managed to catch him right in that turn there where he was showing his underbelly, leaning off to his port side, showing the starboard side under the waterline. And that's a big key to being able to do damage to you know, any heavily armored ship. That's where, like, the Tirpitz, for instance, is extremely vulnerable. You get up underneath that armor on the side, and you're going to wreck the shit out of them. Actually, I showed that in the Azuma overview from last year. It's really a few really good examples of that. But, yeah, I am about, well, we're about 6-7 minutes, well, now about 8 minutes into this match. We're down a few points, and we've lost, let's see, a battleship and a cruiser, or 2 cruisers and a destroyer. They've only lost 2 destroyers, but they still have a Kiev. They have the points locked down here because they still have ships pouring into B. I get some hits there on the Kiev, but it's all about the secondaries, trying to make that work against him. And I'm pretty much ignoring the Amagi here because I'm all focused on just trying to get rid of the damn destroyers as fast as I can. So I set a fire on the Kiev, which is what kills him, and I go back to focusing on the Amagi. Now, I make a huge mistake here. This shot. Look at this. See the problem? Yeah, I just hit Paperback for 3,500 damage with my rear turrets. Ugh. And unfortunately, that is going to have some serious repercussions as the match goes on. So, whoops. So now there's a Gneisenau, a Scharnhorst, and a full health Tirpitz all the way over there that we got to contend with. Now, I'm trying to make sure that these guys are focusing on me instead of Frere, because he's much lower health than I am, and it's kind of just the situation that developed anyways because of the fact that I was so much closer to these guys. So hopefully they're shooting at me and not him, so he can build up his health a little bit more again and try to get back into the fight as soon as possible. Now, I am definitely concerned about that Tirpitz, but at the same time, I got to keep my broadside to him in order to be able to continue to engage these guys and keep my secondaries involved and continue to set fires and get that damage over time working, and hopefully a few hits there. You saw that ricochet on the front turret too. Jeez. Everybody else seems to be able to knock the turrets out on my Scharnhorst, but I can't seem to do it on anybody else. Well, at least not as frequently as it happens to me. Now, Torps came in. The Gneisenau dodged him. The Scharnhorst does not. And thankfully he gets taken out, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. And I am actually going to bring my rear turrets around, again, keeping myself broadside to the enemy Tirpitz, and get the kill there on the Gneisenau. Now, I did get set on fire again by the Gneisenau's secondary turrets, and managed to finally get around to putting that out, but not before it took off a fair amount of damage. Now, I do some really solid damage against the Tirpitz, who inexplicably came to a stop and started reversing and then eventually it starts going forward again. But look at the secondaries here. And this is just my ship. You know, if you go back and look at some of the situations when we were all on B, the amount of crap in the air is astonishing when there's multiple Bismarcks. I mean, it is a fireworks display, and my god, I love it. I don't care about the other battleships anymore. This is my go-to stuff. The Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, and the Bismarck. They're just so much damn fun to play. So we trade off a little bit here. Frere comes up, tries to get his secondaries actually in range, and you can see them starting to go off right there, setting some more fires, and it's just really prudent that we get this guy taken out as fast as possible. So again, focus fire, just get rid of the damn ship. Doesn't matter who gets the kill. And another fire was set on him, but it should be the kill right there. Alright, so now we get to push back into B and have a whole lot more crap happen. Very low health Miyoko right there. Managed to squeak the shots over the island. One of them hits, and there we go. Got the Citadel for the kill, and an overpen actually. But there's a full health New Orleans. There's another Miyoko, and also there's still a Benson. And that Benson is going to be a pain in the ass. So, as he rightfully should be, of course. But Frere is moving up behind me here. And we have, in case you're wondering, the Cleveland that is down to A, he has like less than 5% of his health. He's got nothing left. And there's really nothing that he can do to help us out except for staying alive. So I managed to get Confederate and also high caliber on that salvo. Not able to finish this guy off. Frere's secondaries, even though he's a little further away than I am, manages to get the kill. So now, again, weird play by cruisers and stuff. What the hell is this guy thinking? I don't know. I don't care. I just have so little health to work with. I need these shots to find their target. There come shots from Frere. Unfortunately, they were a bit behind, so this salvo looks like it's going to be good, and it is. So 16,000 damage right there, and Frere actually ends up finishing him off as well, but he loses his life towards the end here against the Bismarck. And now it's up to me to engage against the Benson that there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to get him unless he shows himself in something crazy like, I don't know, maybe an over-island detonation happens again. But of course that's wishful thinking. So my shells find the Bismarck for about 5,000 damage, and I'm going to do something here where I know I'm going to die. I do not have enough health to withstand a salvo whether I'm bow forward or not. So I turn my ship and dump everything I've got into the guy and do about 12,000 damage to him. Now, I have fires on him. It's so close to killing him, and the Cleveland comes around and starts to engage the guy. And unfortunately, what you're going to see is I just needed one more tick to get that damn Kraken. 321 health. And the match ends right there. Just please contribute, everybody. Just a little bit more can go a long way by the end of the match. But I will be streaming on Sunday for the 6,000 subscriber mark on YouTube and close to 1,500 on Twitch, and my birthday, which is Saturday, but we're celebrating Sunday, so whatever. But thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed the video today. I look forward to your comments below, but I'll see you back here next time. Take care.